Hi everyone, welcome to On the Other Hand. I'm Ariane Zurcher, and I've got lots to talk about today. The first thing is the giveaway. So last week I was showing all of you the stash that was sent to me by Steph Francis, and I started playing around with it. In that video, I talk about how I'm going to do a giveaway. And so the giveaway is going to be a little care package from me, mostly Steph Francis. I actually haven't decided completely what I'm going to send, but it'll be a nice little package. So a lot of people commented, and I wrote everyone's names down. I know that my newsletter was not letting anyone sign up. However, it is working now. So if you care to go over to my website, I'll put the link in the upper right-hand corner of this video. There will be a little eye, and it's in white with a little circle around it. And when you click on that, while you're watching this video, you click on it and it'll show you the website. You can click directly on that and it'll open a page. And that will have the little form where you can sign up for my newsletter, which you're not going to get inundated with a bunch of stuff because I haven't even figured out how to write a newsletter. So, this is all a work in progress. Okay, so that's that. So here's the winner. The winner of the giveaway is Pampered Petals. Now, I don't have a name with Pampered Petals. Pampered Petals wrote a little note. I marked down everyone who wrote a little note and commented on that video. So, Pampered Petals, you must reach out to me and tell me I need an email and I need a street address. So the first thing to do would be to email me. I'm going to leave my email in the description section. And go ahead and email me and tell me I'll see your email because you'll be emailing me. So there's that. And then give me your address so that I can send you this little care package. And congratulations to Pampered Petals. Also, I have to tell all of you that Pampered Petals has a YouTube channel. So let's all go over there and give her some love because the YouTube stitching community is large and fabulous, and it's really nice to support each other. So I'm going to be going over there and checking out some of her videos, and if all of you would too, that would be great. I'll be leaving her YouTube channel link in the description section. Okay, so that's that. Now, I have to tell all of you about my little foray into ice dyeing. I mentioned before that Nancy, who was one of the people who signed up for and took my improvisational stitching workshop, did her project, her piece that she worked on through those 5 Saturdays? Yes, 5 Saturdays. We worked together, Saturday afternoons. There's another one coming up, so if you want to sign up for that, I'll put the link again in the upper right-hand corner of this video, and you will be able to click on that and you can sign up for the improvisational stitching workshop that I give, which talks all about, we go over composition, we go over elements of design, we go over different design concepts, we go over getting started, how to keep going when that nasty voice starts to tell us how we have no business doing any of this. We talk a lot about, there's a lot of technique, there's a lot of adding elements, how to kind of free yourself up, different things that I've learned to do when I get nervous or I'm not sure where to go, different techniques that I've used to just get myself going. Anyway, Nancy was in that workshop, and she does ice dyeing. Nancy sent me, and I showed it on a video. She sent me a couple of pieces of her ice dyeing, and they were really exquisite. They were just beautiful. And I thought, okay, well, this is something that I'm interested in sort of exploring. So she very generously wrote the instructions for all the members in my improvisational stitching workshop, and she posted it on we have a little Facebook group for that workshop, and she posted it in the workshop Facebook group. And I decided to take her instructions and follow them and see what happened. So I'm going to be posting, I'll add some photos as I'm talking. You'll see there are various photos. It was a successful foray. However, it wasn't 100%. I mean, it was my first stab at this, so there's that. Also, I think this requires some practice. I also think that if I had a lot of time and had the kind of space which allowed me to really, I think if I had a wet studio which really allowed me to spread out and do this easily, I would definitely explore it more. As it is, I don't have that kind of setup. It's actually really difficult for me to do this. I sort of have to take over a large part of an area in our loft that is for everyone, and so that's not so great. But I did give it a shot, and I definitely had some pieces that were just complete failures, utter failures, and then I had some successes, and I'm going to show some of those successes as I'm speaking. Things that I thought really turned out nicely. And then there were some that, as my husband said, oh, you've got some hippy-dippy stuff going on here, which really wasn't what I was going for. So those I'm not going to show. Those I've folded up and I've put in a little corner for, re-dyeing or over-dyeing, or maybe I'll paint over them, or who knows. Anyway, much of this was done on 2 different weights of linen, a suiting weight and then a lighter weight that was a more even weave, also a bit more expensive. And some of them are really, really lovely. Now, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing with these pieces. A lot of them also were on silk. I had some velvet left over, so I did that. And I have to tell you, I had some thread. So I thought, oh, I'll throw some thread in. Well, I didn't think about how, how when you get a skein of thread, it's, they tie it, right? And with a little, like stuff, for instance, they'll tie, there's like a little knot. Well, there's a reason for that, right? Obviously. Because when you're dyeing it, everything starts to get really tangled up. Also, you probably don't want to put this stuff in the dryer, even if you have tied it all up. Well, not only did I not tie it up, but I also put it in the dryer. And one of the hanks that I had was bamboo. So when you put bamboo in a dryer, it actually comes out looking a lot like dreadlocks. I don't know how else to describe it. Which can be really awesome when on a human being, but not so great when you're actually hoping for a thread, a variegated thread. So those I just pretty much tossed, like into the garbage, threw them out, just thought, okay, this was a big experiment. I messed up, huge mistake, and I am not going to spend umpteen hours going through this thread and trying to untangle it from each skein from the other. So there's that. I have some video that I shot of the ice dyeing, so I'll add that. Okay, you might be asking, what is this? It is not food. It's my attempt at an ice dyeing. This is an experiment. I've never done this before. No idea if it'll work. I'm about to cover them over. Here are my trays of fabric. I've done 2 different weights of linen. I found some silk velvet, so I did that. I had some silk tulle, organza, some cheesecloth. I had found some thread, some bamboo thread. I stuck it all in there. So we'll see what happens. All right, so here's my ice dyeing setup, and I had sort of mixed results with the last batch. I had a couple that were just exquisite, and I loved the way they came out. But then there were quite a few that were just, in my opinion, a disaster. And so I'm actually going to, I don't know what I'm going to do with some of those. Maybe do a soda ash and try to re-dye. I might try to do some other kind of hand dyeing on top, but I haven't figured that out. Anyway, this is my other batch that I never got to because I didn't have enough trays. So I ran out of ice. This has happened last time too. And I actually did some 8 weight pearl cotton thread that I'm gonna put ice on as well and see what happens. It looks really intense right now, and I've got to add some greens in here. And this one I like, and I'll just add more green and light blue. But you can't really tell until it's washed and, you know, gone through the whole thing. So, and here are all the ones that I've already done. So we'll see what happens. My fabulous husband is running out to get me more ice. Okay, so there I've got my ice covering it, and now I'm gonna sprinkle some dye. We'll report back. I can't hold the camera and I don't have my tripod out here, and I've got a headache, and so I'm just gonna do this and show you when it's done. Okay. I lost a whole morning yesterday, I think. Was it yesterday? You know, I can't remember. These are the white spots in my head. I just, like, it's all just sort of goes into the great unknown. But I think I lost a whole morning yesterday with a blinding headache. So that wasn't great. But I did do some more ice dyeing. I just sort of said, okay, I've got to do something. I can't just lie here feeling miserable. So I did, and I actually did feel a little bit better. And I don't know what I'm doing with this ice dyeing, these fabrics. Some of them, I like them so much, I don't really want to stitch on them. I thought, well, maybe I'll make them into pillows, you know, like just as is. I don't know. So I've got them. I'm thinking about it. And I'm going to start stitching. The last thing I want to say is that my husband and I are going on a little vacation. It's the first one we'll have taken since our trip to Iceland together, which was 3 years ago, right? I think so. I have a souvenir from that trip, which is this elbow. Do you see this? This is a metal plate in the elbow, and they're pins where I shattered it. It looks a little weird, right? That's why. Probably more information than you wanted, but anyway, we haven't taken a trip since that trip. And we are going to be going hiking for 10 days. And I'm really excited. We leave next Wednesday. So I don't know how much stitching I'm going to get done. I mean, we're planning on going all day out hiking, you know. That's the plan. All day hiking. Probably not a lot of stitching. I'm thinking I'll be pretty tired at night, but I do plan to videotape, so we'll see what happens there. And I'm going to bring a notebook and some pencils to do some sketching and take lots of photographs. So I will document it and I'll be posting on here. But let's go ahead. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to get some stitching done because I haven't been stitching. I didn't stitch at all yesterday. But with the ice dyeing and the headache and everything else, I just couldn't do it. So I'm very excited to start. And we'll go from there. All right, for a change of pace, I thought I'd come back to this guy because I haven't worked on him much. And this is the piece I started for my improvisational stitching workshop that I mentioned that Nancy had taken, who was the reason I did all that ice dyeing. It was her ice dyed stuff that got me going. And I'm going to keep working on it in my next improvisational workshop, but I'm also going to start on a new piece for that next class. But this was some hand stencil work that I did in the corner just to kind of break things up and do something different. It's a big piece and I wanted something up here, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do up here. But I've got, I have this idea that, I have this idea that I'm going to do something with this aurora. So I'm just going to go with that. And as always, when I don't know, I put this on a Milner's because, why not? Well, because I tell you why. If I don't know what I'm doing, I'll put it on a Milner's because that way, if I decide to do a wrap stitch, I'm good. And if I don't do a wrap stitch, it doesn't really matter. I'm still good. So I'm thinking that I want to fill in this area here, right, with something. And when I don't know what I'm doing, I often will do something easy, like mindless, like a seed stitch, or a stem stitch, or some French knots, or something just kind of random, just to put something down. Do all of you remember there was this woman named, I think her name was Julie Cameron, and she did this book called The Artist's Way. Do any of you remember this? Anyway, in it, she talks about writing, and how you just write for 20 minutes and you give yourself permission for it to just be total garbage. Like you're just going to throw it all out. It's just really an exercise in getting yourself moving. It's kind of like stretching before you go for a run. It's just a way to do something. But the deal is you have to be, you can't judge it. You have to just do it. Don't think about it. Just do it. You do it for 20 minutes. You set a timer and then you're done. And if you get something great from it, awesome. If you don't, awesome. It doesn't matter. The whole point is that you're doing it, right? So this is kind of my version of that. Like you just do it. You don't think about it. You don't judge it. This isn't something, and I do it, I often will do it in a similar background color or neutral, so that, like, how bad can it be, right? It's a neutral, it's a background color. It doesn't matter. It's kind of like, I was thinking, like, I don't know, for those of you who ever have gone on a diet, I don't diet, but I used to. And when I did, if I was standing up and eating in the kitchen, that didn't count. And then I'd wonder why I wasn't losing weight. It's kind of like that, It just doesn't make a difference. In the best possible sense, it's like that. In that it's hard to criticize this when you're just doing this kind of stitching, it doesn't matter. It's not going to really show. It's not, and that's the thing. It does show, but because you're doing it in a similar color as the background, you can tell yourself that it doesn't matter. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I'm doing my 20 minutes of it doesn't matter. You just get the needle and the thread in there, and you just get something down. And I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to, the ever-present critic can do the moaning and groaning. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? You've already done a lot of seed stitching. Why don't you do something interesting? Well, that's okay, because now we're gonna do some other stuff now. So there it is. That's my little. I'm not doing 20 minutes because I'm not going to spend 20 minutes, doing a seed stitch and filming that. But that's what I got right now. And now I'm going to come in with another color. Okay, so I've got these round shapes, and I've done a seed stitch. I'll fill in the rest with I was using this one, Seafoam Aurora, and I'll do the rest here, in here, and here. And then I have this Ethiopian rocks, which I rather like, also in Aurora. And I was thinking of doing something here. I'm not sure what, but maybe I do a I was thinking, I wonder if I did a buttonhole stitch, like a buttonhole wheel going around. Maybe, I'll just try it and see what happens. What's the worst that happens? It just doesn't look good, right? And then I just, whatever. Leave it, take it out, do something else. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to start up here because I want this turquoise to go over whatever I do. So I'm not going to go with stitches under here. And I'm going to go here. I'm not going to do them super close together. It's going to be more like that. I might couch these legs down even. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking out loud. But just do these for now and see how that goes. Of course, now I have it on a Milner's and I'm not using any wrap stitches, right? That's how it always goes. It's okay. And So whatever else I do on here is not going to be done in Aurora, that's for sure. Because I like to have some diversity in my threads, and I don't want everything to be the same. So I'll certainly try to, I'd like to use maybe some, I don't know, silk and pearl, or maybe I'll do just a regular pearl cotton in an 8-weight or something like that. Kind of winging it. I can't really see where this stencil, these were these kind of donut shapes, and I can't even see where they are. I also have to be aware when I do them this long, the legs this long, that I'm not pulling, because what happens is you get it to look like this. It's pulling so much that these guys, so I'm actually going to pull this a little. So it doesn't pull. You can also look at the back, and if you're getting that kind of pulling, you can always tell that it's too much. So I'm going to keep going here like this. And the legs start getting super long. I think I'm going to end it here. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Okay. As I said, I might end up couching these down. I kind of like that idea. Okay, I'm going to clip this. I have nowhere to go with it, so I'm just going to leave it. And then I'm going to do that for all of these and see what happens. I might couch this, I don't know. I might do some more in here, I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Once I figure that out, I might have other ideas for this. I'll just keep going. Okay. So, I hope this was sort of interest, and yeah, just one of my projects that I keep working on little by little. Don't forget to click on that like button, click on the subscribe button if you haven't already. I love hearing from you. Leave me comments, and until next time, let's keep stitching together.